Hi guys, this is Eve from Ovaniz and today we're having a special tutorial in which we're going to make two different princess cake toppers. The one on the right is a princess fondant figure which only looks complicated, but we're going to teach you step by step how to make it. And the one on the left is a simple princess silhouette cake topper. And if you're only interested in the simple cake topper, you can skip to minute 48. By the way, at the end of this tutorial there's a special surprise for you, so stay tuned. And now let's get started. For this tutorial we will need Ovaniz sculpting tools, a rolling pin, 100 grams of light blue fondant, 100 grams of blue fondant, 150 grams of white fondant, and 95 grams of ivory fondant. One question we get asked a lot is what is the best fondant for sculpting, so I added a link for the fondant in the description box down below. And the amounts of fondant mentioned here are for both of the tutorials. Now the numbers for the blue and white fondant are an estimation because we do have leftovers after we cut the excess, so it's more of an approximate number. We will also need a gold and pearl luster dust, a fondant cutter, 90 grams of Rice Krispies, and 80 grams of marshmallows. Now before we get started, I would like to point out that there are two kinds of fondant figures that we can make. The one on the left is the regular cartoon-like princess fondant figure, and we're going to make this one today. And the one on the right is the portrait character fondant figure, which was sculpted with the Ovaniz photo to fondant tutorial, and it basically means that you can sculpt a fondant figure copied from a picture. So if you want to surprise your own princess, whether it's your daughter, sister or mother, this is the perfect tutorial for you, and we will talk more about it later in the tutorial. We are going to start with the body of the figure, and we are making a Rice Krispie base which goes under the skirt. Now we're starting to make this first because it needs to dry and set. For this, melt the marshmallow in the microwave for approximately 30 seconds. Afterwards, put some shortening on your hands and very carefully, because the marshmallow is hot, pour in the Rice Krispies and mix all together. After thoroughly mixing the marshmallows with the Rice Krispies, shape this mixture into a cone shape. This cone shape should be 12 centimeters high. As you can see here, it's quite soft now, but after 2 hours of drying, approximately 2 hours, it will get set and be very hard. Next, we will shape the body. So take 50 grams of ivory color fondant and shape it in between your hands into an oval rectangle shape. Squish it a little bit and shape out a neck and the shoulders. Our body needs to be approximately 6 centimeters high. Push out a small chest. Squeeze the fondant in between your fingers to create the waistline. and this is what we're looking for. This is optional, but you can create using the Dresden tool, the collarbone and the indentations we have on our neck. Next, very carefully insert a skewer in the middle of the body. Next, insert the skewer into the base. Pull down the fondant slightly on the base, very carefully, just to fuse them together and give it a little bit of more of shaping at the waistline. Next, we're going to make the arms, and we will use 8 grams of light blue fondant, 4 grams for each arm. Now the figure is wearing gloves, and we're making the gloves and the bare arm part separately, and here we're starting with the glove. So roll the fondant in between your hand, make one end narrow and create a palm. Now squish it with the finger, and with an X-Acto knife, cut out the fingers. Very carefully smooth the fingers. But do it very carefully because it's very gentle. And on the other end, using a ball tool, create little indentations. We're going to insert the arm in there later on. Now repeat with the second hand. Next, we're going to make the dress details, and we're going to start with the underdress. For the underdress, we're taking a piece of white fondant. We need to roll it out as thin as we can, approximately 2 millimeters thick, and cut out stripes 2 centimeters wide. Fold them this way and attach them on the left side of the skirt. We need approximately 8 to 10 stripes like this. Next we will make the front middle part of the dress, and we will use light blue fondant for this. So again, roll out the fondant approximately 2 millimeters thick and cut out a triangle shape. Now fold it at the top and attach it at the top of the base. Play gently with the folds to create this fabric look and cut the excess if needed. Now our figure is holding the side of her dress. This is the reason we did the underskirt as well. And to create this look, we will take a piece of fondant and we will put it underneath the skirt to sculpt the look, because we cannot make the fondant stand on its own. So you see I'm pulling out this small piece, and now I'm measuring that it is in the right height for the arm, and we will cover this piece with the skirt. The main part of the skirt is made out of darker shade of blue fondant, and we will need 3 pieces like this. So again, I'm rolling out my fondant and I'm cutting this trapeze shape and attaching on both of the sides and on the back. Fold the fondant and gently place it over this brown piece we made, and arrange the fondant to look like a falling skirt. Now we are going to repeat the same with the other side and with the back of the dress. Next we will make the top of the dress. So take a piece of blue fondant, roll it out approximately 2 millimeters thick, cut out a rectangle, and I'm using a large piping tip to cut out the cleavage, and a smaller piping tip to create the underarm parts. Put small amount of water on top of the body and attach the fondant all around the body. And cut off the excess fondant. Now very carefully cut out a V shape at the front. Next, we will put 2 pieces of light blue fondant on the side of the dress. Next, for the arms, take 2 small pieces of ivory colored fondant, 1 gram each. Roll it in between your hands into an oval shape and attach it to the glove. Let it dry for a few minutes and afterwards attach it at the shoulders. For the shoulder straps, we will need 2 small rectangles of light blue fondant. Pinch them on both sides, fold them a little bit, this will create folds, and attach them over the shoulders. And to finish the dress, put some pearl luster dust with a little bit food grade alcohol and apply it on all of the light blue parts. Now we will make the head. For the head, take 40 grams of ivory colored fondant. Roll it in between your hands into an oval shape. Smooth the fondant and roll it into a head shape which resembles an egg. It is wider at the forehead and narrow at the chin. With the Dresden tool, create 2 indentations for the eyes in the middle of the head. With your fingers, pinch out a nose and give it a shape. With the pointy side of the Dresden tool, create 2 nostrils. Cut a slit for the mouth in between the nose and the chin. And using a rounded knife, open it up a little bit. Make 2 indentations in the corner of the mouth with the silicone taper point tool. Open her mouth slightly and create the lower lip. We are cutting 2 slits for the eyes. Note that the cartoon figures, they have very large eyes and they are at an angle, so I'm cutting in an angle. With the veining tool, open the eyes in an almond shape. Insert small pieces of white fondant into the eyes and into the mouth. With gel food coloring and a number 0 brush, we will draw the facial features, the eyes and the mouth. Don't worry if you make a mistake with the food coloring. With the help of a clean wet brush, a little bit of water and a tissue paper, you can erase the food coloring from the fondant and start over. All you need to use is a very clean brush and a small amount of water. Add some blush using dry food coloring and a brush. For the ears, take 2 small pieces of ivory fondant, roll them in between your fingers into an oval shape, squish them a little bit and attach them at the head at both sides. For the hair, we will need approximately 5 grams of light yellow fondant. Take a small piece of the fondant and attach it at the head. Spread it around behind the ears. Make some lines and indents in the hair using the veining tool to create hair pattern. Take 2 small pieces of the yellow fondant for the bangs and attach it in the front of the head. Take a small ball of yellow fondant, squish it in between your fingers to create the bun. Use the veining tool or the rounded knife to create hair pattern by making lines and indentations. And attach it to the head using a little bit of water. And for the finishing touch, take a small piece of light blue fondant, roll it in between your fingers and make a hairband. Now let the head dry for approximately 4 to 5 hours, better overnight, and insert on the skewer. And now imagine your own princess reaction when you will surprise her with this unique cake topper which you made by yourself using the Ovaniz photo to fondant tutorial, which is a bestseller at ovaniz.com, and it basically means that you can sculpt a fondant figure copied from a picture. Of course, it's not only limited for this figure, and you can make other friends and family members, and the possibilities are endless. You can make your child, you can make your husband, you can make a celebrity, you can make your child's head on a superhero's body. The possibilities are endless, and this is a truly amazing project. And now we will make the princess silhouette cake topper. We created this princess template for you, which you can print on an A4 paper. The link is down below at the description box to download the file. So all you need to do is to print the template and cut it out. Next, you need to roll out a piece of white fondant. It needs to be very thick, and at minimum it needs to be half centimeter thick, so it won't break and you will be able to insert the skewer in. Place the template over the fondant and using a precision knife, cut out the topper. I'm not cutting out the underarm area because it's just easier to paint this way. We will cut it out later. Now with a small cookie cutter I'm cutting out an H. If you don't have the cookie cutter, you can cut it out with a precision knife as well. Mix gold luster dust with food grade alcohol and paint the topper. Next we will insert 2 skewers. I did insert toothpicks here, but I do recommend to insert 2 larger skewers for the stability of the topper. After the gold color is dry, we will cut out the arm part, which we left out earlier, just because it's much easier to paint this way. And now we need to leave it to dry until it's completely hard.